This is our Silver Fern Farms Cervena Denver leg. We call this a Denver leg because the process was first done in Denver. These are the subprimal muscles from the hind leg, broken down into individual muscles. All the hard work's been done, but I'm going to show you how to fabricate those major muscles into usable cuts which we can utilize in the kitchen, whether it be medallions or mini leg roasts. So let's start first of all with the bottom round. It's a challenging muscle. As you can see here, a big cushion, grain runs at an angle. I just take off that little bit of silver skin there, and there is a small web muscle that runs across here, and there's a little bit of resulting silver skin underneath there as well, so we just need to take that off. The eye of the round will determine the size of the fillet you should cut from the leg, because I'm going to make these into little leg fillets. So I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces. Well, you can see the grain of the muscle now quite plain. Take off the good clean lean trim. Then we're going to cut that like so. And we're now going to cut those into individual little leg fillets. Cut that sharp corner that we've created in the fabricating of that and round them up into little log shapes. Trim off any edges which are a little bit thin. Let's move on now to the inside round. A little bit of silver skin here that needs to come off. So there's the eye of the inside round, and this is the little joining muscle. We'll just take off the silver skin because it is a web muscle that holds the eye muscle and the cap together, so take that off. What I'm going to do now is shape that again like we did the other ones. Take off the edges which are a bit sharp and shape that into a leg round. Now the eye of the inside round has got a little bit of silver skin which runs 2/3 of the way down through it. Now a little secret, sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on this cut surface here and put the lid back on it. Tie that with string or wrap it, and the next day that salt will have activated the myosin in the meat, which is like a natural meat glue, and it will be stuck together there. You can cook it as a whole piece or cut it into medallions. This little piece here, a little bit of silver skin off the back, and that can be trimmed up and used like a little petite fillet. The top sirloin, this has got a little bit of a cap muscle just inside here, and you can essentially just pull that out, snip it off that end. But you can see it's not that odorous. It's a good piece of trim meat. Now the top sirloin has got a little bit of a seam down through the middle. A little bit of silver skin just on here, so we take our knife onto there and basically just force it apart. You'll see that, there, that silver skin there. Tidy the muscle up, just shape it so it's nice and rounded looking, and again you end up with a beautiful tender leg fillet. This last piece, there's always one piece that's a wee bit bigger than the other, but there is a bit of silver skin on here, and it's sort of like a web shape, so you really got to take that off. Take off the top, bits of very thin silver skin. It's more for visual look than anything else. It's not tough, and you have a nice little leg roast there which you could utilize in a variety of manners. So there you go. And last but not least, we have the top round. This large cushion which you can see here, and the little muscle that sits along the side here like that. This is sometimes referred to as the faux filet, a beautiful piece of meat, ideal just as it is really. Just take off any little bits of silver skin. You see in here there's a little bit of tissue here. That's where some of the main blood vessels go through the leg, so I always remove that. And then just tidy that up a little bit so it looks a bit neat. A beautiful piece that looks for all the world like a fillet. Now the top round, this main cushion obviously, then we're bound to split this down the middle. There's almost a natural seam at one end. Just come up as near as you can to the middle of the piece. We're just going to shape that like that. Same with the other piece. There is our leg in its entirety, cut now into useful pieces which we can utilize in the kitchen. From our Cervena Denver leg that we cut into these beautiful leg fillets, we get 27 portions of 5-ounce leg fillet mini roasts. If we, however, want to do medallions at 1.5 ounces approximately per piece, we get 90 pieces. Portioning and center of the plate protein weight is up to each individual chef or establishment. However, what you've seen today is it allows the chef an awful lot of flexibility in how they use it on the plate.